Hey, hello, everybody. I hope you can join me this afternoon. I know this was kind of a spur of the moment. I tend to do that, right? I just like to pop on and say hello. This morning, Spirit led me to just start typing in regards to understanding the elements of a good psychic and mediumship reading. There are certain things that a client or sitter should take into consideration, right, when getting a reading. And I think, knowledge is power because many times, people can get scammed by psychics or mediums who take advantage of people who don't understand, what it's all about. So I just want to share with you what are some of the elements that should be in a good psychic and mediumship reading. So let me go to the history, okay? The history of kind of psychic readings, right? Psychic readers. But before I do that, let me go ahead and share this out just to a couple of places. I hope you're here. Please say hello. Oh, hi, Esmeralda. How are you? Yeah, it's good to see you. All right, hold on. Let me just share this out. Let me just share this out. There we go. Let me just turn the sound down just a little bit. Here we go. I hope you're doing great this afternoon. Hi. Hello. If you go through the page and you see the link for Facebook comments, go ahead and click on that so I can see your name. This is through Be Live Broadcast Production. It's not exactly through Facebook, so I don't automatically get to see who you are, okay? So if you can do that, that way, otherwise you have to put your name in the comment section, which is okay. That happens. You can do that too. Okay. All right, let's get started. Hello there. See, I don't know who this is. And if you click on that link, it says Be Live Facebook comments. If you click on that link, then I get to see your name, okay? I get to see your name. So let me see if I can find that link real quick, what it looks like. Here it is. So it looks like this, Be Live TV comments, okay? And it's on the page. Otherwise, I can't see your name, okay? All right, so just be sure to put your name in the comment section. Hi, Jody. How are you? See, I get to see Jody's name. There's Jody. Hi, how are you? Awesome. I'm so glad you could be with me. It might be a small group, but that's okay. That's okay. People can watch this later, right? Hey, Shar. Hey, honey, how are you? Glad to see you. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, so let's go into a little bit of the history, okay, of, yes, I can see your name, honey. I can see your name. And you only have to do it once. Once you click on that comment link, to give permission, you only have to do it once every time I come on. Yeah, you're good to go. You're good to go. Uh-oh. That's okay. Just put your name in the comments then. So, I like to give history and backgrounds on certain things when I come on here for you, because I want to give you as much factual information, okay? And so as I was doing my research this morning, psychic readings go way back in time, right? They just go back in time, really. And there's even a reference in the Bible from the Oracle of Delphi, right? Who gave a king messages. The Oracle of Delphi was the high priestess of the temple of Apollo at Delphi, and she was the preeminent oracle of ancient Greece. and gave information to, or is that somebody else? I'm sorry. Am I getting myself confused? I might have been giving myself confused. But there is a biblical reference about how there was a seer that helped out King Solomon. Okay. So the history goes all the way back. People have always gone to seers and psychics for help with their lives and what's going on. We have had situations in our lives where, we're feeling something, we don't feel quite right about something, whether it's financial situations or our relationships. And so we actually will go to friends and families and they'll give us advice, and then we can actually go to psychics, right? Now, in the very beginning, psychics were known as fortune tellers, okay? There were fortune tellers. Now, why is that? Because back in the centuries, people, they lived very simple lives, right? There was this huge disparage between the very rich kings and queens and then the very common people, right? And the common people, they were your farmers, your bakers, your, let's see, the shoesmiths, the shoemakers. They lived very, very simple lives. They lived in villages and very small towns, and there wasn't much for them to kind of look forward to a future, right? So their opportunities were in regards to, could they be a servant of the king and the queen? Will they get to live in the castle instead of living in their villages, right? Is there a rich man for a lady to marry? There wasn't very much options here, and sometimes the seers would give the fortunes to people because they were very observant of the situations around them. Perhaps a lot of people came to them, so they kind of had like a political clout, right? They knew a lot of people, and so they could tune into people's energies and probably even do some matchmaking, right? And say, hey, let this, your energy would match their energy. Of course, they didn't talk about energy back then, but they would do some matchmaking. And then, of course, there were the scammers, the manipulators, especially if somebody was trying to get somebody to believe in something or take a magic potion, who knows? But the history behind psychic readings is very fascinating. And I encourage you to do your own research into that. So in today's society, thank goodness, we have more financial freedom. We have less restrictions on how to live our lives. And so some of the questions may be the same, but it's in regards to a wider, expansive type of reading in regards to, yes, there is kind of like fortune telling where some people want to know, hey, am I going to get a new job? Or, am I going to get a better paying job? Am I going to be married, in the next 6 months? Or who knows, And so the energy that the psychic tunes into for the person can help out with that. But today we know that the person's own personal power, right? The psychic can tune in and give you a reading in your current energy state. Okay, so let's say you're depressed. The psychic's going to tune into that because that's your dominant personal frequency. And they're going to hone in on, oh my gosh, this is what's going on for you. Let's try to get you out of that so that you can reach your full potential, right? If you stay stuck in that depression, guess what? You're not going to be able to live up to your full potential, right? Right. Hey, Rosina. Hey, honey. Hey, Shar. Hey, Claudel. Hey, Sylvia. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. So here are some famous psychics as I was doing my research. There's Helena Blavatsky. Not only was she a psychic, but she also would do mediumship readings. She was a Russian medium who co-founded the Theosophical Society in 1875. She claimed to have received doctrinal doctrinal instruction and training in psychic powers from the masters, or the let me see if I can say that, Mahatmas, okay, the Mahatmas, who appeared to her in visions and whom she encountered in person. She wrote texts of theosophy called Isis Unveiled in 1877 and The Secret Doctrine in 1888. And then there is Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce is a very famous American psychic, visionary, and mystic who became famous for his trance readings and prophecies. And he lived from 1877 to 1945. His readings and teachings are maintained by the Association for Research and Enlightenment. I was a member with them for a while. You can get access to all of Edgar Cayce's readings. He was also a medical intuitive, and also would do it kind of remote viewing, where people would send him letters and say, you know, my loved one's sick or my child is sick. They'd give an address, they'd give a direct location and a specific date of where they'll be. And Edgar Cayce would go into a trance and actually remote to their location and give them a physical assessment and actually give them a remedy full of herbs and teas and different things to do to help alleviate symptoms for their medical conditions. Then we have Arthur Ford from 1896 to 1971. Arthur Ford was an American psychic and trance medium. He is best known for his seances with Bess Houdini, Houdini's widow, okay, in which he claimed to be in contact with both Houdini and Houdini's mother. Pretty fascinating. And then there's the famous Fox sisters who established spiritualism. The Fox sisters, Margaretta, Kate, and Leigh, from 1833 up to about 1890, would talk about the rappings and the knockings in their home, which they learned how to communicate with the spirits, and found out through this communication that there was actually a dead body buried in the basement. So that was pretty fascinating. And then that just kind of took off, and they would travel and they would visit. And once they moved out of the house, they moved into another house. And those rappings still occurred because that spirit could be accessed, right? Yeah, pretty fascinating. Yeah, you've heard of Edgar Cayce? Oh, that's how I got started. My father was really into the paranormal, and we would watch, I can't remember the TV shows, but it was about ghost stories, or it was about Bigfoot or something like that, and I was always fascinated with that. And then that led to doing my own research, right? Finding different things out. And then I ran into some Edgar Cayce books that I just absolutely fell in love with, because he talks about how religion and prayer really go hand in hand with meditation and opening yourself up to the divine, and to access the spiritual realm. So it's fascinating. If you can get any of his books, I highly suggest that you do. You'll learn a lot. Then there's Eileen Garrett, who was an Irish medium from 1893 to 1970. She was an Irish medium who was investigated by J.B. Rhine and other researchers. That's how good she was. And she founded the Parapsychology Foundation in 1951 to support scientific investigation into psychic abilities. And now today you can actually go to school and get a degree in parapsychology, right? In parapsychology, which has to do with the metaphysical realm. So that's pretty fascinating, huh? And then there's Jane Roberts. Can't leave her out. From 1929 to 1984, Jane Roberts was an American author, medium, and psychic, and a channeler. In 1963, she started experimenting with a Ouija board, and soon after, while in a trance state, began to hear messages from a discarnate entity called Seth. He called himself Seth, And from there, she wrote many wonderful materials on the Seth material, and actually talked about back then, now that we know, is quantum physics. So those books, the Seth materials, they're very deep. You read a paragraph and then you go, huh? What was that? And then you go back and you read it again before it kind of sinks in. So if you love getting your teeth sunk into some really cool metaphysical things, I highly suggest getting some of those books. They did. I think after the Fox sisters, that whole thing, they really ramped up. Plus, around at that time, if I remember correctly, they had a lot of traveling circuses, right? And people would go to the traveling circuses, and then part of those circuses would be a psychic or a medium to give fortune telling. They'd have the crystal ball, right? So that's where we're getting the history from. And then, of course, there's Esther Hicks channeling Abraham. We've got James Van Praagh, John Edward, many famous psychics and mediums today. So let's talk about the elements of a good psychic reading. Okay, so let me find my little picture here. Oops, that's the wrong one. Let me put that one down. I made an agenda. I'm getting used to there it is. There it is. Let's see if this is what it is. Yes. So psychic reading should have some elements into it that you should kind of recognize. Okay. And that would be in regards to the psychic tuning into the client or the sitter. Okay. The psychic should really take time to meditate, to relax the physical body, to enhance the psychic senses before connecting to the client or the sitter. All too often, many times, the psychic will go with their gut instinct instead of taking the time to meditate and connect. And so they'll get some really good things that may come up, but it's really coming from the ego and not from the clairvoyant psychic awarenesses, such as your clairvoyance, clairaudience, which is hearing, clairsentience, which is feeling not only emotionally, but physical things, claircognizant. That is just kind of, boom, it comes to you. This is it. Clairgustance, which is tasting, or again from and then there's channelers, of course, from a higher realm. And the information given from the psychic to the client should really resonate with them, okay? And it's one that should uplift and guide the client or sitter with helpful therapeutic information, okay? We all have free will and free choice, and we are co-creators of our destinies. So when you are getting that reading, it should resonate with you. You should say, oh my gosh, yes, that's right. That's exactly what's happening with me. You are so correct. And then from where you are, you should be guided. You should be inspired to move along your path in a more positive manner. Okay. What else? The messages, okay, given to the client or sitter should be with discernment and or reflection for the sitter on their current vibratory resonance within them, okay? And this stems from the emotional, mental, and physical frequencies in which they are presently offering, again, their personal frequencies. So messages are given with hope, love, support, and upliftment, okay? So the client or sitter comes away from the reading, receiving this reading and feeling inspired, helping guide them to change certain things in their life and to raise their vibrations to manifest their own desires. Okay. So those are some elements of a really good psychic reading. And now let's talk about I don't want to say bad, but I want to say, misled reading. Okay. But I did write what constitutes a bad psychic reading. Okay. And let's go over that. Okay. The psychic medium or reader does not tune into the vibratory frequency of the client, right? They use a form of guessing and suggesting what is happening with a client, which is coming from the standpoint of the ego, and sometimes, I have to admit it, sometimes I go too quick. I don't tune in. I don't take that time. And I just jump in and say, oh, I know what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, yeah, no, I didn't hit the right frequency. So then I have to step back, because remember, psychics are like a radio, okay? And we are going to turn the dial and find the frequency of the sitter, right? We want to tune into that tower. They're like the tower with their personal frequencies, and it's our job, right? It's our job to tune into that energy. And sometimes it's a very subtle tweaking, right? Just like on the radio. This happens many times. And especially with brand new readers, kind of like, how do I want to say this? At the very beginning, I feel that when you start to become awakened, your emotions and your feelings really kick in like an empath, and you can pick up the emotions. And what are the most easiest emotions to pick up? But depression, anger, right? Kind of like dissatisfaction, the lower vibrations. Okay, those are easy to pick up, and it shows physically in somebody's body, and their whole demeanor and their whole energy field is just like depression or sadness, right? It just boom comes right at them. So if you find out that you are getting a reading from somebody and they're focusing in on those lower vibrations, okay, and they stay there with the lower vibrations, and they tell you, oh, you're very depressed, you've been depressed for a long time, and really the whole reading is focused around this depression and this sadness, and then they don't give you any hope. They don't give you any guidance to how to help you rise above that, right? So that's a reader who's probably inexperienced, or maybe that was the way they were taught how to do psychic reading. I'm not sure. But you should always rise above that personal frequency from your sitter, especially if they're in those lower vibrations, okay? Okay, what else? Okay, I touched on that. Oh, yes, and the reader offers no hope for the client and tells them, this is another thing. So they don't provide hope, and they tell somebody what to do, okay? Nobody should tell anybody what to do, okay? Let's say you do tune in and you do pick up this poor person's in a horrible relationship, and it's just not good for them, okay? It's not your job to tell them, well, you need to leave them. Girl, it's time to divorce that person and move on. That's not your job, okay? Psychics and mediums, we're kind of like, we're therapists, right? We're therapists. We're here to help people. We're not here to tell them what to do. So if somebody is giving a reading and telling you what to do, that's a big red flag, right? That's a big red flag. And then this goes into the next thing that I really, really want to touch base on. And that is how to identify a scam psychic. Okay. Again, they will hone in on the lower vibrations because that's all they can resonate with. Because guess what? They resonate with the depression and the sadness and the anger and the hatred. Okay, that's where they resonate from, and so they give readings in regards to that, and then they say, again, they tell somebody what to do, or they may say, well, you got to come back and get another reading from me because I need to help you out here. You can't do it on your own. You need to come back to me. And in order to get that reading, they raise their fee, right? They raise their fee, excuse me. And this really gives the honest psychics a bad reputation, Unfortunately, psychics have gotten bad reputations because they have either predicted something that was so specific that anything could happen with the frequencies and the energies that could shift that outcome, and it never happens. Well, then, people are going to say, so see, that's not a real psychic because they said on December 15th at 2 p.m. that, my aunt was going to die, or something like that, or there's going to be a car accident. Again, we have free will. We are in our own personal power to make things happen and shift outcomes. Okay, it's a world of possibilities here. Okay, a world of possibilities. Oh no, are you serious? I am so sorry, Jody. She goes, yep, this happened to me when I was in my 20s and I spent a lot of money. I am so sorry. Wow. Yeah, and it happens like that with a lot of things, right? That type of scam artist type thing happens in many things, and especially with mediumship, psychics, or now online, right? Looking for somebody to help you out. Be very, very careful. People are out there to try to get your money and to get you to come back again and again. Okay, so those are some really good red flags for you, okay? Because I know people are new to all this. They're on many groups on Facebook. Some of them are good and some of them are not so good. You have to be very, very careful. All right, so now let's move into mediumship, okay? Let's move into mediumship. Now, mediumship is different from a psychic reading, okay? A psychic reading comes from the personal frequencies of the first 3 energy centers of the chakra system. You've got your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra, okay? And a little bit of the heart chakra is involved as well. But it's all about the person. It's all about them in their current energetic situation, okay? Now, with mediumship, we are accessing the higher realms of that person's personal frequencies. We're accessing the heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye, and the crown chakra and above, okay? And above. What happens when somebody comes to you for a mediumship reading? They have to give you permission. So when they come to you, that's kind of like their energetic consent, so to speak, okay? They are consenting to the spiritual realm. I want to hear from somebody, and I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen. If somebody comes to you who's very skeptic, who wants to prove you wrong, then guess what? That energy is going to be blocking things, okay? That's going to be blocking things. And that happens, and that's okay. Sometimes you can work through that. Sometimes you can't. And you just have to be honest. You have to honor what you're getting. You can't make things up, right? You shouldn't make things up. Okay, so let me find my little agenda here, and There's that one. I think it's this one right here. There we go. What elements should be included in a good mediumship reading? Okay. Again, you have to connect with that person, okay? And through that connection, what happens is their loved ones are around them, okay? And for me, and each medium is different, but for me, as I'm connecting to the sitter or my client, I will feel a presence kind of step forward, a male or a female step forward and say, kind of give me the energetic kind of hello, a greeting, like I'm here. Can you feel me? Can you connect with me? And so as you connect with the spirit, you should focus on bringing forth evidential information as best as possible. Okay. You should try to bring in at least 3 different factual pieces of information that the client can state without a doubt that, oh my gosh, yes, this is my mother, this is my father, this is my aunt or my uncle. Okay. So as you are tuning into that spirit, you should give some physical descriptions, hobbies, relationship to your client, personality, perhaps career, maybe how they passed, right? Some mediums are really good at that. They can ask the spirit, okay, how did you pass? And they can feel it, they can see it, and they can sense it, right? For me, I don't know. I ask them. They don't always tell me they're ill, how they died, because many times they don't want to focus on the death. They're like, yeah, I died. Tell them this, tell them about how I love spaghetti, or tell them about how I love to watch Sunday night football, right? That's what they want you to focus on. And so I will try to give at least 3 pieces of information to give to the client for them to say, yeah, that really sounds like my mom or my dad. And then they start, now this is a cool thing, they unknowingly start to connect to their loved ones too. So you've got this loop going on. Your energy connect to your client's energy, the client's energy is connected to the spirit, you're connected to the spirit, and so there's this kind of like a triangle, a loop going on, right? Which is a beautiful thing. Once that validation comes in, boom, the connection is like wired in. You got them, so to speak. It's like you're fishing and you go, choo, and you hook them, and then you're bringing in the information. It's coming fast, right? That is so cool when that happens. Okay, so let's see here. What else? Did I get everything? Okay. So once the information has been validated, right, then the client can start offering information. Okay. The first 5 minutes of a reading, until you get that clear validation, the client should not tell you anything, because you want to do your work. You want to do your job, right? So people have to be very careful when they want a reading from a loved one. You can't say, I want to hear from my mom, and she passed on February 2nd with a heart attack. Can you clue in? Well, anybody could say, yeah, I'm cluing in. Yeah, your mom, she did cooking and she cleaned for you and laundry, and can then go into very vague information. So make that medium do their job, right? Bring forth information that you can really, really validate. Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. So what would be a poor or mediocre type mediumship reading? Okay. It's very vague. Specific information didn't come through. The client's not quite sure who this male person is or who this female person is. And so there's kind of a fudging going on, and perhaps the client may say, oh, that kind of sounds like my mother. Okay. You don't want to do that. That wouldn't be a really good start off to the reading, because there's not that real specific, clear validation that, yes, this is who they are. I validate them. Okay. Okay. Oh, sometimes the medium doesn't even give any information. They just jump into a message, right? Oh, they love you. They're always around you, which is true, which is absolutely true. But again, it's not being backed up by evidential information. And, there's several different techniques to do a mediumship reading. I learned how to do my mediumship reading through Casadega Spiritualist Camp. I took about 6 months of classes in order to be a certified medium with them and to be a member of the Spiritualist Church. It's a 2-year process. Other places have, longer. Okay. They really want to make sure you know what you're doing and become certified. And you really should, if you know you're having the ability to come forth, I highly suggest that you take classes. You have to work with other people. You have to keep practicing. Okay. That's the only way you're going to get better. And the best part, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from what you didn't quite get right? Or you learn from somebody else giving a reading. And let's say you gave them the reading, but you got some information that you were afraid to give out. Like perhaps somebody liked to hug teddy bears, and you're talking about a 60-year-old man. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's kind of embarrassing. I don't want to say a 60-year-old man is hugging teddy bears. But somebody else says something quite like that, like this gentleman held on to stuffed animals that their grandchildren had given to him. And they validate, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. That could be the very key information that you need to validate that reading, right? So you have to honor what you're getting. You cannot pick and choose the information that comes forth. And then you have to discern discreetly that information that comes through. Okay, let's say you pick up on something that's like not really good. Okay, such as I'm very delicate when it comes to suicides or somebody taking their life. That's a very, very, very delicate situation. And you have to handle that with the most discreet, loving way as possible. And so I always phrase it in regards to, the spirit's making me feel like, or I feel like the spirit had some responsibility in the way in which they passed. Can you validate that? They'll say yes. Okay. All right. Then I'm and once they say yes, then it's almost like it's giving the spirit permission to talk about it. Okay. To talk about it. If the person's really hurting over the suicide or the death from a drug overdose, they may pass that by, right? They may pass that by. But if the client says, yes, they died from, maybe they were an alcoholic or they were doing drugs, and it really hurt them, then the spirit's going to want to talk about it. And they're going to want to say, I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry that happened. And so you try to work that out, right? Here is your therapy part. Here you're working with spirit and you're working with the client. And these two, they need to work some things out here. That's your job, to do it in a very loving way, as best as possible. Okay, as best as possible. And if you are communicating emotions, you are feeling things, sometimes spirit comes really close to you and you will actually feel, let's say they died from suffocation, you may feel a closing around the throat, right? You can always say to them, step back in your mind, clairvoyantly, step back. I don't need to feel it that strongly, right? And they'll do that. They'll step away. But the point I'm making is you are not allowed to own that. Okay. That emotion, those physical sensations, just because you're feeling it doesn't mean you own it. And then after the reading, you hang on to it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, the spirit won't let me alone, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because you're holding on to the information. That's not your job. You are the medium, which means you are the go-between the client and the spirit. You are the messenger. That's all you are. Okay. It's not about you. It's about the client and the spirit. Okay. Okay. Good question. Good question, Linda. Should you bring up about a miscarriage? Absolutely. But you should do it in a very discreet way, right? You can say, now if we're talking about mediumship, then yes, that would be a key information saying, I've got this younger energy here. It feels like an infant. Did this infant pass at a young age, or did this infant wasn't quite birthed into this world? I've rarely had that type of a reading before, and that's pretty fascinating because normally what happens is a spirit will come into the infant's body in the womb, and they'll kind of hang out there, and then they'll hang out, out, and then and they're waiting for this baby to develop in the womb. And so the reading may be pretty darn fascinating because a spirit is a spirit is a spirit. Okay, we're all spirits. We're eternal. We've had past lives. So you may pick up some very interesting information, such as a past life that this infant, this newborn that was supposed to be with the mother, right? So that may be a very healing thing by saying, this spirit, this soul really wanted you to be their mother, but the physical material body couldn't handle the energy of that spirit at that time. And so they withdrew from the body, and the body let go, right? That life force, once it's taken away from the body, the physical vehicle ceases to live, right? Because it's our spiritual energy, the life force of our spirit, that makes our bodies and who we are. Okay. I'm sure there's a better way to explain that, but that's what I got. And I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Okay. So let's move on to, when you're not quite getting a very good, let's just go with a scam. How to identify a scam during a mediumship reading. Okay. It's almost like the psychic reading, right? There's red flags here. You don't get evidential information. It's on a very low level. They may even tell you, the spirit, your loved one, they're telling me that you were wrong, and that they're upset with you, and you should have done this, this, and this. Let me tell you, once we pass over to the spiritual realm, we are in so much love and light. Yes, we can remember our physical life. Okay. That's what we're going to relay to somebody so that they can identify with us. But when we're out of the physical vehicle and we are who we are, spiritual beings in the essence of light and love, they're never going to yell at somebody. They're never going to tell somebody you should have done this or you should have done that. Right? Right? They may bring up an argument just to solidify the relationship. But when we've crossed over, all is forgiven, all is light and love. Okay. All is light and love. And so just like with a psychic reading, perhaps a medium would say, okay, in order for me to make it better between you and your loved one on the other side, you need to come back, or you need to go home and you need to light 5 candles, say 5 Hail Marys, or meditate for 2 hours, and then come back to me for another reading, and I'll tune into them. And they kind of they try to draw you back for more money, right? That's a scam. That is a scam. Okay. Also, the medium asks too many questions up front. They're fishing for information. And they try to manipulate the client into an emotional reaction that makes them very vulnerable to suggestion. And the medium tells the client that their loved one is very angry with them for not doing something, like I just said. And then the medium may tell the client that their loved one is telling them what they need to do. You need to go to the bank and give me, 5 gift cards, $100 each, or something like that. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, people do this. People are so vulnerable. They want to hear from their loved one. They're hurting. Okay. They're really, really hurting, especially if it was unexpected. They didn't quite get to say goodbye. Maybe they didn't have time to see them in 2 or 3 weeks before they passed. They're hurting. They're vulnerable. And so if that scam artist was able to draw them in emotionally and to trust them, they're going to be at a very vulnerable position to get sucked in, okay, into a scam, okay? So I'm going to do a disclaimer right now, okay? There are many, many people who are very intuitive. They're awakening now to their gifts, and they naturally give both psychic and mediumistic readings. I'm not implying that these people are wrong in any way, shape, or form. But what I want people to understand is that there are elements in a psychic and mediumistic reading that should be present, okay, that will help you know when you're receiving a good, honest reading, and to help you in your own development, right? If you know what's supposed to be there, you can actually say, okay, I'm a little weak in this area. Let me work on it, okay? Let me find a development class. Let me find a teacher who I resonate with, right? There are many teachers out there, many, many good teachers, just like doctors or psychiatrists, right? You need to have that resonating work. How do I want to say this? You just click together, okay? You just click together. So, you may take a class from one teacher and go, this isn't happening for me. I need to, go somewhere else. Well, definitely go somewhere else. Don't get discouraged. Or if you're very open, you say, I'm going to take this class from this person and this class from that person. You could do that as well. And the neat thing is many times psychics have very specific readings. Somebody can hone in and do be a medical intuitive, right? They can focus in on the body and the energy centers and find out what chakras are not quite open enough and how it affects the organs that relate to that chakra system, which could be a specific disease process, right? Then you have other psychics who do, really good reading in regards to relationships. That's their specialty, okay? That's their specialty. So this is a very exciting time for psychics and mediums because now that quantum physics, our scientists are really coming out and saying the ancient masters, what they were teaching is absolutely true. Okay, absolutely true. Now, some of the mainstream traditions may need to be thought of as out of the box, right? I don't want you to be closed in on specific things. And I don't know how to explain that any better, especially if you go to a teacher who's old school, okay? And they say, this is the way you do it. That's the only way you do it. That should be a red flag. That should be a red flag, because when you're dealing with energy, anything goes. Anything goes, okay? Your psychic reading may turn into a past life reading, okay? Your psychic reading may turn into Akashic record reading, okay? So be open to all of the energies, and then train yourself to be that radio, to hone in, tweak your tuner to the right frequency that you want to focus on for your client, okay? Well, this is a really good question. When working as a medium, I've heard you need insurance. Is this true? What kind of insurance? There is no insurance. There really is no insurance. What you should say is you should give a disclaimer, okay? Saying what this reading is telling you is your opportunities, your inspiration. What I say may change in regards to how you look upon your life, right? So you should always give a disclaimer. You should never predict death. You should never predict, you could probably, just be careful on what you give, because if anybody who comes away from you upset in any way, situation, in any way, or they believe somebody to the point where it absolutely has to happen. You know, I'll share this. I had a gentleman who asked me if he would get a promotion. And when I first gave him that reading, it was there. It was absolutely there. I felt it, but I did tell him, I said, if you continue in the way that you are holding your personal frequency at this time, I foresee that it's very promising for you to get this promotion. He came back about 2 months later and he said, and I could feel it. I could feel it in his energy. Am I still going to get that promotion? There's a lot of talk, in the office and blah, blah, blah. And as I tuned in, I went, holy cow, something happened. And as I tuned in, this gentleman became very arrogant, okay? He was practically telling people he had the promotion already, and that whole energy of what he was emanating, I don't know, whoever was giving that promotion perhaps said they might not be the right candidate for this promotion, right? Anything goes. Anything goes. So be very careful if you're going to predict things, because someone's own personal frequency, the law of attraction, what they draw to them, right, can change an outcome just like that. Okay? Just like that. So you have to be careful. And there is no insurance. There is no insurance. Just be sure that you protect yourself. Okay? Because some of our famous psychics did get in trouble when they promoted themselves as what they were saying was the absolute truth. Okay. So you don't want to get yourself into trouble. All right. And psychics and mediums, guess what? We're not 100% accurate 100% of the time. That's just the way it goes. It's almost like, again, you're the radio, you're tuning into the frequency, and let's say it's a little fuzzy, right? You got some static going on. I know with my internet, if it's raining outside, if there's a thunderstorm, my internet's going to be weak and it's going to come in and out, right? That's the way it is with energy. Your energy tuning into a client. Let's say that the client is skeptic. They've got an energetic wall between themselves and you, and they don't want to be open to receive a reading, but yet they're here because their wife sent them or their friend sent them or who knows, right? So the energy can be unclear. It could be like static. So it just may not be a good reading overall. Don't let that discourage you. Okay. Don't let that discourage you. It's all about the connection and interpreting the frequencies being picked up on as accurately as possible. Okay. And I'll go further into this in my workshop that I've got development class happening next Saturday. So if you would like to join me, you are welcome to do that. I would love to have you join me. It's in the event section. Okay. So this is my little marketing piece. The more the merrier, really. It's through the Zoom application online. You come into my room here and we work with each other, and we'll go into more detail about these elements of a psychic reading. Okay. I know Honey's going to be there. I am so excited. I am so excited. Yes. Okay. Let's do some readings. Let's do some readings. Okay. Who would like a reading? Oh, you're welcome, Jody. Anyway, okay, before I do readings, any questions? That was a really good question by Honey saying, do we need insurance? Oh, hey, Patty. I am so glad you're here. Oh, someone said good morning. Let's see. Where would that person be from? I'm in the afternoon, so it's somebody over yonder, right? Jody, yes. Okay, let me write this down real quick. All right, so Patty wants a reading. Jody, Shar. Okay, let me write this down so I don't forget. As the comments scroll, along, sometimes I forget. Okay. Jody. You know what? I'm going to do something really, really neat. Shar. Hey, Steve. Are you working a lot? Yeah. Oh, you just woke up. Somebody just woke up. Well, good morning. Oh, Australia. Yes. Okay, Sharon. And Donna. All right. I'm going to do something kind of, well, I don't know if it'll take too much time, but I really want to see if maybe somebody wants to jump on live with me. Who wants to go live for a reading? Any takers? What I will do is I will send you the guest link in Messenger. Okay. You click on that link. You may have to download the Be Live program, but it only takes maybe a minute or two. And then you pop in. Okay. It's 9 p.m. there. Yes, honey, I know. I'm going to do somebody different. Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't want anybody in here with their PJs on, okay? All right. Well, let me know. Next time, I'll work on this. I'd like to have people come on and actually get live readings, okay? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe the next event that I do, okay? Like we did the last time for the All Souls Day, we'll do something like that, okay? All right. I can only do a couple or else we'll be here all evening, right? All right. So let's go with Patty. Maybe what you can do is show me a picture on Messenger, Patty, just a current photo of yourself so I can tune into your energy. If not, I'll go off your name, okay? But if you can go into Messenger, find me and send me a current photo, I would love that. Thanks, Linda. Thanks for being here. I don't know who this is. Who is this? Who's going to jump on? All right. Patty, I don't know if you heard me. Can you send me a current photo of yourself through Messenger, and then I'll look at it on my phone? Oops. Okay, I'm just going to leave my phone here. If you're able to do it, that's great. If not, I don't want to hold things up. Oh, hey, Nick. Okay, so. All right. Spirit is giving me some really wacky information here. It's telling me to hold on. I'm going to pull you a card, and then it wants me to go into numerology. So I am going to actually toss some dice to get a message from the dice. Hold on. Wow. Spirit says, let's be creative with this one. Let's be creative with this one. All right. Because Patty, you've got some good stuff going on here. I am feeling your energy. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. All right. I'm just going to take the dice here. Actually, let me do it this way. Well, no, I'm going to do it this way. Ooh, I got a 1 for new beginnings, new opportunities. And then I've got a 6, manifesting desires for the 6. And then the card that I got is, I don't know if you can see this, 19. It's very purplish. It's got a lot of swirls around. And Patty, it's definitely in regards to intuition, opening up your own psychic senses and awarenesses. And I'm also getting this feeling of trusting that. Okay. There's a lot of circumstances within your current energy field at this point in time that feel like you're receiving the psychic intuitive messages, but you kind of doubt it a little bit. And you shouldn't do that. The energy right now is coming to you from the spiritual realm and your spirit guides who's saying you need to trust it a little bit better, right? You need to trust it a little bit better. Yes, I know you're here, Steve. I know you're here. I have not brought you into the studio, okay? I haven't given you the link. I'm giving a reading to Patty right now. That's okay. That's okay. I hope that message resonates with you, Patty. I hope that message resonates with you. All right. Okay, next. Jody. Jody, what would you like? Yep, I will. I just want to go down real quick. Jody, are you still here? Yeah, Patty, you really, it's there. You're getting it. You just got to trust it more. And that's all a part about the process, okay? So be patient with yourself. Don't be discouraged. That's all a part of the process. Yes. Yes. See? Yep. A lot of dreams. Yep. They're working with you, girl. They're working with you. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for validating that. Thank you for, okay, a message from spirit. Okay. Hmm. I have a couple of people stepping forward for you, Jody. Okay, there's a male here, dark hair, about 5'8" In his younger years, he had dark hair. He passed much older, of course, because now he's showing me gray hair. This gentleman is making me feel like he was a very hard worker. And he liked to be outdoors. I'm seeing fishing. He liked to fish. Maybe even hunting. I don't know. Can you validate any of that information? Let me know if you can validate that. The comment section is slow, so before I go any further, I'm going to make sure we can validate this information. And while we are waiting for possibly that validation, I'm going to send, okay. Who was that? Nick? Nick said he was going to come up, so let me find him. Here we go. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to send the link. Oh, this is going to be cool. All right, Nick, you're going to have to click on the link. Hopefully you've got Google Chrome. And you just download it really quick. Okay. Okay. All right. So she says maybe. All right. So this isn't quite all right, let me tune back in here and see how else I can get for this. So this male liked to be outdoors. He was a hard worker. I see him fishing. Okay, he enjoyed fishing. Now I'm seeing a table. I'm seeing a table almost like, was he an engineer or something, an architect? Because I'm seeing what looks like plans. like building plans, something in that is like that. And then I heard something about a firm. Let me know if you can validate that information as well. See, this would go easier if she was on here live with me. Okay, that's a no. Okay, that's a no. All right, let's move on to let's see if we can get Nick on here. Nick, are you here yet? I gave you the link. All right. Yeah, I know. Doesn't ring a bell. All right. I'm going to scrap that. Definitely not tuning into the right thing here. All right, so let's go back. All right. Okay. Was there a celebration that just happened? I'm hearing the word celebration, whether it's a birthday, or maybe there's a family reunion coming up. All right, now I have a female coming in. Grandmother. Okay, now I'm seeing a bridge to the holidays. Holidays, very important. Family traditions. Did you go over to her house for family dinners? I'm also hearing Sunday. A religious woman. Short hair. And I'm seeing a cat. A cat. All right. Let me know if you can validate that. Okay. All right. Nephew's birthday, 11/8. Okay. All right. Okay. So we've got Nick here. Hey. Let me just finish this reading really quick. Yes, on Sundays, Grandma. Okay, good. Okay, all right. So your grandma was there for your nephew's birthday. She wants you to know that she is with you. And now, while she's saying, while her spirituality may have been in regards to more of the traditional religious route, she's very excited that you are also not only having that religious foundation, which you have, but you are branching above that and reaching out and really expanding your own spiritual journey. And she says that is a blessing. That is a blessing. and you need to express that, and you need to own that as well. She is supporting you from the other side for this. She says, because this spiritual journey that you are on is going to bring you a stronger faith, because it's going to be more personal to you than what she grew up from, the religious experience in which others told her how to have the faith. I hope that makes sense for you. And that's your message from your grandmother. Yes, yes. Oh, yay. Awesome. Awesome. I am so glad I was able to bring in a message from Spirit to you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's bring Nick on in. I am so glad that you are here. Here she comes. Yay!
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, where are you from? It's good morning.
In Australia.
Ah, Australia. Very good. Okay, Nick, what type of reading would you like?
Just what I need to know, Sandra.
Okay, what you need to know. All right. All right. Spirit is telling me to measure your chakra system. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take the dowsing rods here, and I'm just going to have you through each chakra, you're going to say a sentence. Okay. And the dowsing rods here, okay, they're going to start out neutral, and I'm going to wait for Spirit to work in with me nice and straight. And then when you say this sentence, it's going to show me how open that chakra is, okay? And then from there, we'll go into the reading, okay? We'll assess that. So for your crown chakra, I want you to say out loud, I am in total harmony, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
I'm in total harmony, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, that's good. Nice and wide, nice and open. Very good. Okay, so the next one is the third eye, which is, let me get lined up here. I am perfectly attuned to my vision.
I am perfectly attuned to my vision.
Okay, that's a little bit, just a little bit. Not quite as wide as the other one. Can you see that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me just write that down real quick. All right. Next one is your throat chakra, which is I freely express my thoughts and feelings.
I freely express my thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, that's a little bit too. And it makes sense that it would go along with your third eye. Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling the answer as you're doing it.
Are you? Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. You're giving me chills. You're giving me goosebumps. All right. Next is your heart chakra. And I want you to say, I am an open channel for divine love. Okay. Hold on. Let me get this ready here. All right. Okay. Say it.
I am an open channel for divine love.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yep. Yep. Because you give too much. You give a lot of yourself. And sometimes you have a hard time expressing yourself honestly because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. And I totally understand that. And that's what's also going to kind of block you a little bit with your third eye as well, is because if you can't be honest to express yourself, then it's going to be hard for you to pick up the subtle energies when your third eye is open, okay, to the subtle energies around you. All right, let's go to the solar plexus, which is I accept myself completely.
I accept myself completely.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Yep. Yep. So you have a strong sense of self, which is good. Okay. Which is really good. So, to thine own self be true, also needs to be expressively as well. You're really good at being yourself when you're kind of alone and who you are. but when you're in with, talking to somebody or whatever, you're kind of holding back a little bit about expressing yourself. Okay. Expressing yourself. And then you have such a huge heart that you want to do things for others, which may, sometimes you may just not want to do it. You feel overburdened at times, a little stressed out by doing things for other people, so just have a balance. Just have a balance there. Okay. And then the next one is, let me take a quick look, is the sacral chakra, which is, I feel my creativity streaming through my body, soul, and mind. Was that a long one?
That's a long one.
That's a long one. Okay, let's see if there's another.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good.
Okay, you got it? All right. Hold on. Let me get these ready. All right, go for it.
I feel my creativity streaming through my mind, body, and soul.
Okay, just a little bit. Definitely can work on that, which also goes again to expressing yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding a creative way to express yourself. And I'm hearing from Spirit saying, focus more on what you like to do, perhaps hobbies that you like to do. Tune into the inner child of who you are to bring forth your own creativity. And as you do that joyously, it's going to help you find creative ways to express yourself. Okay?
Yep.
And then the last one is the root chakra, which says, I am stable, safe, and secure.
I am stable, safe, and secure.
Okay. Can people, I'm like out of the camera here. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But I feel like it could be a little bit more open as well. I feel like it also has to do with finances a little bit, feeling secure in your finances. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that will come when you, for some reason, we all have hangups with money. And we feel like we have to earn money the hard way. When in reality, we can draw opportunities of money to us when we open ourselves up and we raise our vibration. It's a law of attraction. So when you are joyous, doing what you're doing, especially in your job, let's say you're in a job situation and you can't leave it, you can't leave it at this point in time, then find ways to find joy in that job. Whether you love your coworkers, they're great to work with, focus on that, that cooperation. And as you focus in on that, then that's going to raise your vibration to open yourself up to see other opportunities. While you're feeling good one day, driving down the highway, you may see a billboard with a new job opportunity, say, hey, we're looking for this type of person. And it may hit you the right way. And you'll say, ooh, let me check that out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So that's your reading, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for popping on. You were so brave. Look at this. Woohoo.
That's okay. I had to go and grab some clothes first.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, darling.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. So what time is it? All right. We are running out of time. That took longer than I expected. Wasn't that nice? Thank you. Yeah, wasn't that cool? Yes, I like to use my dowsing rods to measure the chakras. I didn't touch that on the last time, but I touched that in a one of my classes that I had. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see, I did Patty, I did Jerry. Okay, next is Shar. I put you down next. All right, Shar, what would you like? Would you like a general reading? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just, you have to do it in front of a mirror though. I've done that in front of the mirror where you just, and you have to learn how to work with your dowsing rods. These are little medium dowsing rods. They're copper. I've read where, you know, they don't have to be copper, but copper is a really good conductor, a conductor of energy. So as you tune into the spiritual realm and your spirit guides who are working with you, I just think copper is much better. And then for me, we always start out neutral. And then you kind of like the pendulum, you figure out what's yes or no. For me, I've worked out that yes is kind of like X marks the spot. So let's see if we can show them X marks the spot. Can you move them? There we go. There we go. There we go. Can you see that? X marks the spot. That's yes. And then let's open wide. Open wide for no. That's no. Come on, spirit. There we go. Yeah, you can see it now. Nice and wide. That's no. That means you missed the mark. Yeah. Can you tell us the sentences again? I missed the first two. Okay, I don't have time for that. Come join me in my class and I will tell you, okay? I have a reading to do, and that's with Shar. Yes, please. All right, I will give you a reading. All right. Whoops. Okay, as I'm tuning into your energy, Shar, I'm picking up some physical symptoms. I'm hearing allergies. I'm feeling a pressure in my sinuses. And I'm being shown food. Not specific types of foods, but I'm being told that these allergies, the sinus, not only is in regards to the environment, but also in regards to food that's causing inflammation in the body. So be careful of too much sugar. I think we're all, we all have issues with sugar, too much sugar in our diets, but just be aware that sugar can cause inflammation in the body. And so you want to drink more water and be very careful with that. Okay. Also, let me pull some cards for you. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I've got the card 22. which represents, 2 is for relationships and harmony within relationships. And it's also in regards to the heart chakra as well. Here is the card. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? My light is kind of going. There we go. There you go. So 22, it's green with the heart chakra. You are now being called to embark on a new path in your journey, okay? There's an inner path, and that is the path of your heart. I feel like you have closed yourself off a little bit. I'm feeling some, emotional hurts in regards to past relationships that you are carrying over, and it's causing you to energetically kind of block off your heart a little bit. And I know it can be scary to open yourselves up to others, to trust again. But you really need to do that, not only for those who you love, but also for yourself, okay? Also for yourself. And this card is also asking that you go deeper than this, not only to the heart chakra, but to opening up your heart to all that is, all of one in consciousness, expanding this love of self, love to others, and love to the universe. And as you do that, you will be opening up more opportunities for yourself to manifest all your desires, okay? I know you have a lot of dreams. You hold yourself back from dreaming those dreams because you do have a little bit of self-doubt. Okay. But this card, the cosmos of the heart, is calling to you to start to release and start with the love of self first. Okay. And that's your reading, Shar. I hope that resonates with you, my dear. You're a beautiful, beautiful spirit. You've got so much to give. Don't hold yourself back. Okay. Awesome. I love it. Woohoo. Yes. Okay. All right. Now I can't read my writing. Is it Sharon? Sharon. Yes, Sharon. Oh, really? Awesome. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. All right, Sharon. Let's see. I saw you here. Where are you? Okay, so Sharon, do you want let me try to find your comment here. Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow. Woohoo! Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You've got some good energy going there for your birthday. Yeah. I'm picking up in regards to, wow, this is really neat. Spirit showing me the energy of when you were a little baby coming forth into this world. Yep. And I'm also now being shown you as a little girl. Very, how do I want to say, very excited. Your little girl personality, which shines forth now, but lots of energy, lots of curiosity. And Spirit's saying, keep it going. Don't forget that little girl curiosity. Bring it forth. Okay. Let's pull you a card, my dear. A birthday card. How's that? A birthday card. There we go. Oh, that's a beautiful card. All right. Let me... Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, this is so appropriate. All right, let me show you the card. Pinks and purples and some yellows in regards to this card. And it's all about connections, okay? Connections. You are opening to the vast knowledge and information obtained through previous lives to help you on your path in this life. And perhaps that's why Spirit was showing me as you were in the womb before you were coming forth into this life. Oh my gosh, I just got the chills because this card is so connected because you are using information obtained from your previous lives to help you on your path in this life. So I would ask you to look at yourself in regards to issues that may be blocking you, that may be related to a past life situation. I know for myself, it's relationships, relationships, and I'm still working with that. But I do know from previous lives, I've had some pretty difficult relationship situations that is still kind of being worked through for myself. So look on your life in situations like that you know are coming from past life situations. The knowledge coming to you now will help you in understanding who you are, who you've been, and who you are becoming, okay? Seeing your connection to those people who are in your life today is helping you to understand the important roles we all play in each other's lives. This is a time of fulfilling soul agreements as well as releasing some old karmic situations that no longer serve you. Okay, my dear? So tomorrow, as you blow out the candles, right? Make a wish for yourself. To starting now, going forth to release old energy that is still kind of dwelling within you. Just let it go. Release it, okay? And that's your reading, Miss Sharon. And happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay. All right, my dears. That's it for this afternoon. What was the number of the card? 21. It was 21. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to find the camera here. 21. 21. All right. Okay, thank you for joining me. I hope I gave you some pretty neat information. Again, please, I've got a class coming up on Saturday, next Saturday. November 16th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So it's Florida time. Just $20, just $20. Please work on yourselves if you can't be there with us, on your own psychic senses and your own psychic development. In my classes, I give information. We do a guided meditation. We do some exercises to kind of open up your psychic senses in clairvoyance, clairaudiently. You know, we do the work, and then you have the opportunity to give each other's readings, and I can record them for you that I can download and give to you to keep so that you can see your progress, or you can see, that's when I missed that one piece of information that I should have said. Recording your readings in a practice session is very, very helpful. You learn so much. And I can do this for you, okay? I can do this for you. All right. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Whoops. Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much. And hopefully I'll see you next Saturday, right? All right. Bye.